Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today we have got another disturbing part of the internet, volume 23. We get right up into this. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit subscribe button, comment your thing down below. If you liked, help the channel out with a donation. You can leave a super thanks or a link to our PayPal's in the description. Let's go.
So this was blowing up quite a lot on the subreddit Young People YouTube, and it's pretty crazy. It was also recommended to me by Zeus to be on the safe side of YouTube, since my previous video also got deleted. I won't be showing any footage here, but right now it's pretty easy to find. On the subreddit Young People YouTube, someone made a post with the title, "Why is this kid actually effing disgusting?" Attached was a screenshot of a YouTube channel called SpongeBob and Squidward Yes, Patrick and Sandy No. One of the most recent videos on the channel shows a cat with the title, "I beat up my cat for rip-off of blank's cat." The title described exactly what was happening in the video. It was some kid or teenager with his cat beating and choking it. When this was circulating on Reddit, it quickly reached 4chan and they weren't too happy. When it comes to predators or animal abusers, Anons on 4chan sometimes go out of their way to make the lives of these people a living nightmare. Anons went ahead and doxed the YouTuber. This includes exposing their face, their address, calling the police, and also, from my understanding, even contacting the parents.
Oh, okay, I mean, I don't like an animal abuse, but I don't know if doxing him out. He is a young teenager, so I don't know if doxing him is the smartest way to deal with it.
There's a subreddit dedicated to this, which I won't be sharing here. Strangely though, there seem to be hundreds of channels connected to this one YouTuber. Whether we check out the community posts or descriptions of these videos, multiple other channels are being tagged. The videos on these channels are in the same fashion as the first channel. From the videos, you might get the perception that these channels are communicating by making videos calling each other out. On the channel Angela the Gamer Fan AUTTP, we can see a video with the exact same title, but someone else is being tagged. Someone who goes by Donald Duck and Goofy Yes Cat. There seem to be endless channels that are tagging each other, and the videos are extremely similar in terms of content. Each of these uploads are unique, so these aren't just blatant re-uploads. While you could argue that this is somehow bot generated, why did one of these channels decide to upload the video with the cat? And why did the other channels follow suit and start uploading the same videos? You could argue that it's the same guy running all of these channels, but the sheer quantity of channels is staggering, so it's very unlikely that he runs all of them. I mean, there are what seems like hundreds of channels that are doing the exact same thing. There was also one more interesting community.
I can't explain this. This just fucked up shit. I don't know what the hell is going on here. A little teenage cult, I guess.
Post reading, "Put South Korea if you hate sharing CP. Put North Korea if you like sharing CP. Me? South Korea. I hate sharing CP and always will. Good thing I never shared CP and never will."
What?
I mean, that's pretty strange.
You never shared it, but you still have it. You never shared it. You never say you don't have CP. You never shared it, so it's all for you. You're glad you never shared it. You'll keep it all to yourself. What a thoughtful fucking saint you are. Fucking weirdo. What the
It's also contradicting. They initially say they hate sharing it, and then later claim they never shared it and never will. Currently, this is still ongoing.
Yeah, he never shared it. He's keeping it all to himself because he's a fucking angel. How thankful of him is he that he is doing it? He's keeping all that CP for himself. What a fucking saint.
So there might be more updates at the time of me recording it. I haven't plugged my Patreon in a while, but if you want to support the channel while getting additional content that I wouldn't be able to upload on YouTube anyway, then please consider supporting the channel on Patreon. On the 27th of January 2023, a YouTube channel by the name United Believers Revolution uploaded a video that, on the surface, seemed quite normal. The video was a compilation of old family photos of two individuals, whom the YouTuber referred to as the Founders. The video then cuts to a woman preaching about Christianity in front of a huge market.
You know, we are living in a time when people have forgotten the standard of God, the dictate of God, the law of God, and they think that anything goes. You can do anything that you want to, and God is obligated to accept you, but that is not the truth. We better listen, because who can tell? We better repent, because who can tell? God could give us mercy. God could change his mind. God could give us the way that whereby we would know his tenderness unto us. Now today is the day of salvation, the day of mercy, the day of the goodness of God.
Finally,
So this is someone who takes Christianity to a whole different level. This is someone who believes they are the messenger from God. I'm just getting that vibe from 5 seconds of listening to her. I can just get that vibe immediately.
the video ends with the YouTuber inviting viewers to join him, redirecting them to a website called aggressivechristianity.net. In the description of the video, he explains that what he's involved with isn't a church or a man-made organization. It is, in his own words, the real deal. The YouTuber...
This is not man-made. We did not make this. This is the real deal. This is something we made. No, but not like that. It's not man-made. No, we made it. We made it, but we didn't make it. You understand? They made it, but no, it doesn't matter that we made it. It's the real deal, damn it.
would go on to upload multiple more videos, all centered around a single group, and each asking viewers to visit the same website. The website, now active, belongs to Aggressive Christianity, Missionary Training Course.
Liar, liar, your tongue's off her. Born to lose, bye-bye. Okay, that's kind of funny picture. I'm not gonna lie, that is a funny picture, I'm not gonna lie.
A group which some believe is an active cult.
This is Brigadier General Lila Green with Aggressive Christianity Missions Training Corps, and we'd like you to join with us today as ACMTC continues in its mission of taking Jesus to all the world. Today's video is entitled Operation Mobilization. Operation Mobilization occurred in the year 1985 from the months of January through March, during which time our team visited the countries of Philippines, India, and Nepal. We shall see that God is truly moving by his Spirit, and God is raising up his end-time army in this hour.
The website itself
What the fuck did she just go on about? Hold on, I'm reading this. Good news! Recently, General Jim was finally released from prison after 5 years and 9 months of being locked up for nothing but nonsense. The enemy had to work hard to come up with enough lies and liars to justify throwing Jim in prison. Yet so it has been throughout history. Those who are determined to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit, Spirit to the life of holiness, and work hard to carry out the Great Commission, have always been attacked by the kingdom of darkness. And the scriptures tell us who live godly in Christ Jesus will suffer persecution. 2 Tim 3:12. True Christians will always be targeted by the kingdom of darkness in one way or another. Yet let us never forget that it is an honor to be prosecuted because we belong to Jesus. Jim is still adjusting to being back with his people, but many things has changed during the 5 years he was locked up. Thank God that we are still marching together as militant soldiers determined to take Jesus to all the world. Holy shit.
itself is really strange. On the side it states, be more militant and aggressive in your faith. We all have limited time to live and work for Jesus. I'm telling you right now, we are fighting a tremendous battle against literal demon forces that are controlling national leaders behind the scenes. Not to mention the battle to reach lost souls and very untaught Christians. Join us in this war for truth, for souls, for Christ. Be a foot soldier, a messenger for Jesus to this mess age. People have been writing in, wanting to join up with us, to come and live with us. We're thankful, but right now, we are rising back up from a vicious and unsuccessful demonic agenda against us. Further down on the website, there are more bizarre articles that the world is controlled by werewolves who are inside the American Parliament.
Hell yeah, there you go. See, now they know. See, they know what they're talking about now. See, now we're getting to the real thing. See, they were talking about Jesus and all. See, now we're getting to the real core of the American issue here, which is the werewolves. See, we've all been thinking past things. We've been talking about Donald Trump. We've been talking about, fucking Kamala Harris. We've been thinking about all the politicians, Joe Biden, all that. We forgot about the fucking werewolves. See, they're the ones that are here. We got fucking what was his name? Fucking Taylor Lautner? Is that his name? No, that might be someone else. Was that the guy playing the fucking werewolf in that shittiest movie series of all time in Twilight? I don't fucking remember. But you know, he was there. He's there. He's one of the werewolves that had. Dang, we got a bunch of werewolves. The whole fucking thing in Parliament. Fucking, they're the main problems.
One reads, I speak unto you this day, and I say, and they are literal werewolves.
Oh, they're not just werewolves. No. They're shapeshifters. They're wizards. They're warlocks. They're witches. They're magicians. They're shape-shifting transgenderism. See, they're shape-shifting demons in human bodies. See, they have got it figured out right here. These are prophetic words spoken through General Deborah Green, who noticed the shape-shifting wizard, warlocks, witches, and magicians, and the shape-shifting transgenderisms and the shape-shifting demons in human bodies.
The White House in Washington, D.C. And these creatures are forces of cruel and unrelenting wickedness, and are released at demonic command. These shape-shifting beings are capable of causing great harm mentally, physically, politically, and spiritually. Honestly, I don't know if they mean all this literally or not, but the side
I hope they do. I want to believe they do, because this is some next level fucked up shit, and it's fucking hilarious to me.
itself is really weird. Another article reads, believe me, there are demonic powers in high places throughout the nation, and the biggest nest of them is gathered in the White House, where they're demonstrating the darkness of demonic rule in these times.
The werewolves, the witches, the warlocks, they're all up in there.
These shapeshifters are turned loose and go throughout the land causing trouble to multitudes, and no one seems to discern or understand why. That is because evil beings like werewolves are considered to be mere folktales, so such possibilities are not considered realities. The website has a long list of these bizarre articles, all of them preaching the cult's ideology to the world, and their YouTube channel serves the same purpose.
It is Jesus who desires that you would come forth in his way.
I want to meet these people. I'm not joking. I sort of kind of want to meet these people. I am not religious, but to believe the mind shit they believe is something special that I need to figure out. I need to see these, I need to understand, I need to hear them talking about the werewolves and the witches and the warlocks and the demons in the human bodies, and I need to hear them talk about this because I might actually find this the most funniest fucking thing I've ever heard.
By repenting, by asking for his forgiveness unto you. And it is Jesus who will accept the same.
If someone can find a way to get these people to get my attention, for me and them to communicate, and get them to get my attention, I would love them to speak to me, because this is insanity.
Pray the prayer of salvation and be recognized by him as one of the children of God.
The Aggressive Christianity Missionary Training Corps was founded in 1981 by James and Deborah Green, the same two individuals referred to as the founders in the first video uploaded by the YouTube channel. The cult even maintains its own military, which remains active to this day. In 2017, Deborah Green and her son-in-law Peter Green were arrested on charges of SA of children. Peter Green, who was a manager within the cult, was charged with 100 counts of, doing it, while Deborah Green faced charges of SA, negligent abuse, and more. Deborah Green's son, Joshua Green, was also arrested and charged with failing to register the birth of his son. In addition, 4 other members of the ministry were also arrested in August 2017 on felony charges for failing to register the birth of their 11 children. The cult was also accused.
Okay, that might be, never mind, I might be against them now, hold on, I may not want to meet them now, because, see, I was fine meeting them when they were crazy people. When they were crazy people thinking they were werewolves and witches and warlocks and demonic people in the White House, but I don't think I want to meet them if they're sexually assaulting children. I think they could stay in the hole of hell where they're gonna end up being.
Of having an elitist view of itself and its members. It encouraged unreasonable corporal punishment for children and reportedly prevented members from seeking any medical aid. In September 2018, Deborah Green was sentenced to 72 years in prison after being convicted of child R-wording, kidnapping, and abuse. James Green, on the other hand, pleaded no contest to abuse charges and was sentenced to 10 years in prison in December 2018. As both Deborah and James Green were in prison, the group ACTMC collapsed. However, Deborah was released on January 28, 2022, following a complete dismissal of her charges, and James Green was released on May 4, 2023. It appears they have now revived.
Oh, they're back. They're literally back. Okay, they're actually straight, but that's why they are there. They are out. Them two are both out of prison. Them two are both back. Somehow. And these two are back there. Oh, Jesus. No, I'm not even going to say that's dumb. Oh, Satan. Because I think that's who these two are going to end up seeing in the near future. Oh, boy.
Their group ACTMC and are using YouTube as a platform to expand their reach. They have multiple YouTube channels and websites, all of which are dedicated to promoting their agenda. ACTMC was one of the most disturbing cults at its time, and it has now re-emerged on YouTube.
Out of Isaiah chapter 40, the name of this message is Without Excuse. And you know, that's the real truth of our life upon this earth, that we are without excuse. Because there is one way that we can be made right with God the Father, and that is through Jesus Christ the Son.
By the way, just a quick reminder, if you like the video so far, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date. Jojotsai1012 was a Chinese Instagram user who was mostly
Oh, I know about this, this one. Because this one was in the, what video was it? There was one video where I saw this person. I forget where though. But I know I've seen them before. I know I've seen them in a video. Because I recognize the eye patch thing.
posting about her love life with her boyfriend at the time. Back then, no one would suspect that this would turn into a decade-long mystery, remaining unsolved to this very date. In February 2014, JoJo would post text messages on her Instagram, detailing her relationship with her boyfriend. These weren't really unusual, mainly talking about their interests. In March, things took a sudden turn. In this post, she details that she broke up with him. The following will be a rough translation. It reads, "It has been 12 days since we broke up. I went out with all kinds of men, eating, watching movies, drinking, singing, and any of them were more handsome and richer than him. I said this just to show that it's not that I can't find a better man than him, and it's not that I'm after how handsome and rich he is. There are a lot of men with good conditions around me, and my friends who are familiar with me know it. It's just that my heart can't accept others anymore. Every time I play, I cry at the end. I force myself to smile, and I tell myself that the most important thing in life is to be happy. I keep hypnotizing myself, but I can't hypnotize my heart after all. I don't understand. Since it's not me who chose it, why do you give me so many expectations and promises? Since you don't want to have a baby with me, why do you let me name it?" He said that if his mother doesn't agree to our marriage, he will date me for a lifetime and get married when we are old. These are really the most romantic love words I've ever heard in my life, but it's also a lie. I can't forget all these. It's impossible.
So she dumped him, and now is infatuated and still attached to him, despite she being the one to dump him.
To forget them, unless I die. In her next few images, she
Because my current relationship, is unsure on marriage and kids. I think we both agree we're not really interested in getting married, and we're both at the point where we're not sure if we're having kids. So it's not like it's, must have. I do find it weird that if he did say he doesn't want to have a child, why would you have him pick out a name for a child she'll never have? That's weird. But yeah, this is a weird scenario. This whole thing's weird.
she's wearing an eye patch, but these aren't uncommon, since she posted similar images previously. Though the captions on the following posts really give away the emotional turmoil she's facing. In this post,
I would love to know what happened to her eye. As fucked up as that sounds, I would love... If you're wearing an eye patch, you ain't wearing an eye patch because you have a normal looking eye. I don't know what... I'd love to know.
where she shares an image of her legs with something written on it with lipstick, she details the following in the caption. "Husband, daddy, my prince. In the next life, You must fulfill your promise to marry me, and never break your promise again. Here, it continues in the same fashion, reading, "After I die, I will stay by your side day and night. I'll never leave you again." Her last two posts are by far the most concerning. Allegedly, it's an image of her sitting on the edge of a high building, and there's no caption and no context, so it's not verifiable if it's really her. Reverse image searching the image, however, brings up some results, but from what I can tell, there was no one that posted this image before her, so this seems like an original image. Given the previous context of her post, it's clear what this image is supposed to imply. In her very last post, we can see something being burned. It looks like clothes or pillows. It's kinda hard to tell. Some speculate this to be old stuff from her boyfriend, and this is basically a way of letting go. After this, we never heard back from her. As you can guess, speculations were running wild.
So there's two options here on what happened, right? There's two options. Either she took her own life, so she could be with this guy forever and never leave him in another life, or she finally moved on and burnt his shit. Or maybe she said both. Maybe she set the thing and then set the fucking the apartment on fire. Who knows? I'm gonna assume it's one of the other two though. But I don't know which one.
No one knew what exactly happened to her. With now over a decade that has passed, and her never returning to Instagram, or any verifiable update being made, it certainly doesn't look good. There were some unverifiable claims being made on forums, claiming that she indeed passed away, but those should be taken with a grain of salt.
I am surprised though that no one can get a clear answer here. After 10 years, no one can figure out anything that happened to her? Like, that's insane.
Especially from anonymous users. Another possible theory is that she was posting from China, which has a lot of very strict censorship laws. In 2013, Instagram was still accessible, but in 2014 it would be blocked, meaning the only way to access it was via a VPN. It's possible that the true reason as to why she stopped posting was simply that she could not access her account. She might have just abandoned the account to move on. This would also go hand in hand with her last post, being of her allegedly burning the stuff from her ex-boyfriend as a way to move on. There's one more thing that I want to debunk, since this isn't really evidence of anything. If you look up her profile, it will say remembering next to her name, which insinuates that she passed away and that it has been confirmed. However, this is untrue. The requirements for this label are news articles or obituaries, so someone can just send in some sketchy articles, and that will cost for the tag to appear. To this date, it remains unclear what exactly happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this is insane to me that there is no actual answer to this. Like, the fact that no one can come up with, figure out anything here after 10 years is somewhat insane to me. You'd think someone would be able to give some sort of conclusion.
I know that it sounds ridiculous to hear that there's a Final Fantasy cult.
I'm not surprised at all that there's a Final Fantasy cult. I'm not surprised at all, legitimately.
But I'd say this description is pretty accurate. As most of you should already know, Final Fantasy is a video game franchise from 1987, and still very popular to date. Some people were pretty obsessed with the game, leading to what seems like a Final Fantasy house and a cult leader going by Jen. Her full name is Jennifer Cornett. She basically turned a group of people that were in
okay. So I'm giving this that I did not expect a chick to be running the Final Fantasy cult. She's very attractive, by the way. I'm not surprised, but I also am surprised, because I'm like, you know what? I can't rule out who runs a cult anymore. I should not be surprised by anyone running a cult. I had a vision when they said Final Fantasy cult of who would be the leader, and it was not her.
love with the Final Fantasy franchise, and that she met online into an abusive mini-cult. Multiple members of the cult shared their experiences with it on websites like LiveJournal. The entire story is mostly based on written experiences. Anyway, on the website demonsushi.com, one user in particular details their first few interactions with Jen. It reads, "I was asked if I had any memories of past lives. She began in a flurry explaining things to me.
Explain things to me. How the alternative universe Do you grant me that? Sure, there could be. And in those universe, maybe, just maybe, video games actually happen. I thought it could be plausible, because I like imagining anything's plausible. Although all this and all this flurry, she tells me that she thinks in a past life I was Zack from Final Fantasy VII. Okay, think about it. She said, you're both country grown, you both have that instinct of dragging off friends you could be left behind. You take a bullet for someone, right? You say you don't believe in magic or any of that. And he wanted to be a mercenary. For all of his 5 or 6 lines, you have a similar speech pattern. You even live in a base where he was locked in once and you hate. What the fuck? Okay, this is not at all what I thought this would be. This went off the rails and mean. I had a vision. All the visions I had for what a Final Fantasy cult would be just went out the window. So, I did not think it would be this woman telling everyone that she reminds them of someone, and that in their past life there was someone from Final Fantasy. That's not at all where I thought this was going.
How there are alternative universes, and in those universes, maybe, just maybe, video games actually happened. I thought it could be plausible, cause I like imagining anything's possible. She tells me that she thinks in a past life I was Zack from the video game Final Fantasy VII. She also tries to create similarities between OP and Zack, trying to add legitimacy to her theory.
Yeah, like they were all locked in a basement, apparently. That's what threw me all off. They were just like coming up with things like, look, he had 5 or 6 lines, you speak similarly to him. And then you're like, and he was locked in a basement, and you were locked, you live in a basement, were locked in a basement, and you both hated it, so you must be him.
Either way, Jen convinced OP to meet up. Here's where we learn about another individual named Hojo.
I would love to know what meeting this woman is like, because she's special. She's special, okay? To think this logic this way must be something else, I'm telling you.
Who was LARPing as some former scientist from the game, at least according to my understanding. The interactions with her and others at the apartment were good, and he was not forced to stay there. Hence why OP was willing to drive there on numerous occasions to visit. After this went on for a while, Hojo and Jen invited OP to live in the apartment. Things went only south from here. OP describes how they had to get a job to feed everybody in the house, since Jen quit her babysitting job, and Hojo was also jobless. The cleaning had to be either done by OP or other guests, but even that wasn't enough. The room's smell got so bad that they had to switch apartments.
Yeah, no, see, that's where it switches, that's where it changes, that's where it becomes crazy. You ain't ever gonna get me to live in a live with a bunch of Final Fantasy players. No fucking thanks. And then Jen's like, you all gotta do the cleaning. I don't do the cleaning. I'm like, bitch, you cleaning? No, you ain't living here, and I'll throw your ass out.
Now opting to only one room, which OP very much disliked, since at least in the living room he had his own space, but now he was stuck with them at all times.
Why do you live with these people? Why did you agree to live with these people? How do you end up becoming that? Because no scenario would I agree to live with these people.
Eventually though, OP just accepted his fate and stayed at that house.
What?
He felt socially isolated, had no money to move out anyway, and at least had some company while staying at the apartment. Further, the brainwashing was obviously continuing, and they were also surveying OP every time they called someone or used the internet. At one point, OP's working hours were cut short rapidly, with him working an hour a week, not being able to really feed others at the apartment. This is where OP finally snapped. The living conditions got so bad, and the money was so tight, that they decided to steal OP's shoes. Consequently, OP left the apartment. After a few days being homeless, another guy that was visiting the house named Sid helped him get back to his mom's house. OP talks about the experience of a different guy.
Captain McCool's encounter, I'm going to use a fake name here. The Cap doesn't need this shit spread around about him. He's too cool for that. If you ask me later to take this down, I'm more happy to do it. But Captain, I want to put it up here so people know that what they did to you and what they could do to anyone else. Cap knew them before I did, but when I knew them, Cap was on the out and out. I was in there paying their bills. I'm assuming means paying. I was there paying their bills. So they had no real need for Cap. I do know that once Cap got into a car accident in his car with them there, what I know of Cap's story is muddled. I adore Cap and I'm friends with one of Cap's friends, but it's a fucking painful memory for him. He can't even think about it straight. The stuff hit Cap way deeper than it hit me. Woo!
which he calls Captain McCool, who was in the cold before them. In one instance, it is alleged that he was stuck to a chair, and
So with them breathing down his neck and calling his house demanding him to come there now, he panicked. He had his mom tell him that he'd been beaten up and was in the hospital. They believed him and left him alone for a little while. But he felt horribly guilty for lying. Eventually they found out and began to scream at him that ended their friendship. But before that, just one thing, and Cap, I can delete this if you want. They had him stuck in a chair and forced him to watch while they Okay, I'm not even gonna say that. This is a mold destruction they worked on, grinding your brain down to paste and then building up again. It's hard as hell to pull out of that. Cap still doubts himself, still wonders if he's a bad person for trying to get away. He's still fighting it. Recently, Cap had a breakdown. He's doing much better now, but it was great compounded by these asshats, and that's awesome. That's a great these asshats and what they had made him do and see. Just like me, they took his money, but unlike me, Captain McCool was stuck in it longer. Cap's friends have told them off many times, but they still chase after him, still heckle him. They still have that power of terror over him.
and they force him to watch while they R-worded each other. I honestly don't even understand how that is supposed to work. The next one continues in this crazy fashion. Another person going by
Let's call her Bean. Bean is someone who already appeared in the story and plays a major part. Bean is not Jen, but Bean is the last person you expect out of these to have taken this abuse. I'm using the name Bean because I'm fairly sure Bean does not want any of this known to the world either. Bean had it pretty good. Jen respected Bean for a while, but Bean was also a workhorse at times. One of the things Bean had to do to bring home money was sell her blood. This has gone next level. This is insanity. This is every time I think we've reached the insane part, we're getting more. In State College, there was a blood donation clinic. I went with Bean, but I know she went once every 2 weeks because that is the most often they will let you donate. Jen could have donated herself, but she refused. Bean paid for Jen's red meat, toys, and trinkets with her blood. The one time I went with Bean, I was going to do it myself, but because of a lot of crap that doctors did to me as a child, I was too freaked out to go through with it. But there Bean sat in a sturdy chair, tube running out of her arm like this was perfectly natural. I think it was $45 for each donation. Nobody should have to sell your blood to survive. I'm sorry.
Bean was forced to sell her blood to bring money in. She received around $45 per donation. After this post, numerous other people came forward and were sharing their own stories, which lined up with OP's crazy experiences. Eventually, this caught 4chan's attention, and things
4chan, please someone, this needs to be shut down.
spiraled from there, with pictures of certain members being leaked, including an early image of Jen. There were also multiple pictures of the apartment shared, along with more disturbing stories from the cult. Most things are archived to this date, and the rabbit hole seems endless. If you have too much time on your hands and are interested, go ahead and look into it for yourself.
Should I do a video dedicated to this? Because I feel like I should. What do you all think?
I also want to mention that after this Final Fantasy cult stuff, Jen moved onto the Hannibal fandom, but that will be too much to cover in this video. On December 21, 2023, David Kozak, a 24-year-old postgraduate student, entered his college in Prague and began shooting anyone he saw. 14 people lost their lives in the incident, and more than 22 were injured. one of the classrooms suffered heavy casualties, with all of its students either killed or severely injured. Some students even jumped out of the windows and were left dangling outside in an attempt to hide and save themselves from the perpetrator. However, one student fell, resulting in their death. Inside the university, students locked themselves inside classrooms and used chairs and tables as a barricade to protect themselves. A post made by one of the students of the university reads, "Currently locked inside the faculty, where there is school shooting ongoing. Shooter is dead and police are evacuating." The police were called and attempted to rescue as many students as possible. However, David was quicker and he continued his rampage. Before the attack, David's father was also found dead in his apartment in Houston, with evidence suggesting that he might be behind it. On December 15, 2023, around 6 days before the incident, a 32-year-old father and his 2-month-old daughter were found deceased in Klenovis Forest near Prague. However, the police were unable to find any leads on the case.
So this guy's just a serial killer. This guy killed this random father and child. He killed his own dad and then went up and started shooting a school. This guy is a fucking psychopath.
Until David himself confessed to it in his final note. David was severely mentally disturbed, which led him to commit these acts. He had a Telegram channel where he posted about his feelings and confessed that he desperately wanted to carry this out. He says a person that goes by Elena Afanaskina helped him a lot. Just like David, Alina was a 14-year-old girl who committed the same acts as he did on December 7, 2023 in Bryansk, Russia. She brought her father's gun to school and then it all went downhill. In his text, David writes the following: "I always wanted to kill. I thought I would become a maniac in the future. Then when Ilnas did the shooting, I realized that it was much more profitable to do them en masse rather than serial ones. I sat, waited, dreamed, wanted, but Alina became the last point. It was as if she had come to my aid from heaven, just in time. There's more, but I honestly am very uncertain how much I can cover here. What we can conclusively say is that David died during the incident, and has claimed many lies."
That is insane. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.